This video is to help showcase the top 5 things I recommend that you do to get familiar with the product and see how we can help you to create an amazing systems that you can execute with ease. So let's get right down to it. The first thing that you should do when you log in is check out this list of tasks that you have. And you might find that hopping into transactions and then back into tasks will reveal a list of tasks for you to complete. And each one has a little bit of a tip on how to utilize some of the features in Nekst, whether it's clicking on a task to complete it, clicking on the title of a transaction to come in and see more specific information about that transaction, or simply understanding past due tasks, sending an email, so on and so forth. So just work through this list. Next, you can hop between the different pages. We have one for calendar, and there's a way that you can sync your calendar to your iCal account. You can look at individual transactions and control what information gets displayed amongst this list. You can see the contacts that we have included and added, and then there's also a page where you can work through the different workflows, which are a combination of tasks, emails, and text messages if you are a pro user. The other part of step 1 is just going in, setting up your profile, putting in a signature in case you do send out an email, and then checking this box so that each morning we can deliver to you a daily record of the tasks you have due today, those that are past due, and then also your next 5 key dates coming up, which are the important milestones of any transaction. So that is step 1. Step 2 is we are going to work through these setup sections. So in here, we have something called custom roles. Based on who you want to track in this system, we have all these different roles. And if you want to remove them, rename them, or create your own role, you can do that here. We also have a list of service providers. So as you start building out a database similar to what is in your CRM, you're going to want to group certain service providers that you will want to share with your clients and tag them under one of these categories. And again, you can delete them. You can rename them. You can create a new one, but this makes the ease of sharing. If you need to send over some recommendations for home inspectors, you can add all of your providers and then go through your list and pick out the ones that you specifically want to recommend. Then we also have something called task groups. So this is a way that we can group tasks together that make up a workflow so that when we do launch a new transaction, if there's no inspection, we can pull out all of those inspection tasks. If there's no HOA, we can pull out those tasks. So step 2 is just setting up this section of your account so it is personalized to how you run your business. Our third step is getting in here to the transaction detail boxes. So a detail box is any piece of information that you want to track. And based on where you are in your market, you'll have different terminology, and there might be different things that are important in your contract and different process that needs to be followed. So in this case, we have earnest money. Maybe it's called escrow. Maybe there's 2 sets of escrow. You can create any different combination of dates, text-based information and currency that allows you to create basically a spreadsheet of the important information. And these are the same pieces of information that we can embed into emails or text messages, or just give you a quick snapshot of how your business is performing. So go through each one of these types and decide if you want to change the information that you're tracking based on the type of transaction it is. Okay. So that is our third step. Our fourth is we're going to flip over here to workflows. Now, I'm going to show you an example workflow that we load into your account. This one's called Buyer Financing Closing Plan. So we try to give you a process that you can follow, but the way that things are done in each market will vary a little bit. You can create your own from scratch. If you already have a plan that you want to follow, you can do that by just clicking create a new workflow. If you want to modify an existing one, all you have to do is come in here, copy it, and we're going to call it new buyer financing workflow if we want. And then we can come in and we can delete tasks that we don't want to include. We can change the email language in here. We can change when certain things go out. You'll see that we build our tasks around a start and an end date, and we have some additional guides that can help you understand why that is and how we set that up. But everything can be tweaked in here. You can add things and remove things, change dates, anything you want. So this is a great starting point as well. So that's step 4 is create that workflow, and it doesn't have to be super complex. As you grow, as your business changes, you can continue to update your workflow this way. All right, let's go then into our transactions, and we are going to add a new transaction. There's two ways to do it. On the free version, it's done manually. If you were to upgrade, you're actually able to upload your purchase contract, and it will pull out all the important pieces of information, all the transaction details, deadlines. If you have any additional language written in, we will set up our AI to work with your contract, and it will fill in all of that information automatically. But for now, we're going to do it manually. So we'll just do an easy one. We're going to pick that workflow that we created. We're going to say we went under contract today and that we're closing in a month. So our start date and an end date are based on when the contract was accepted and when it's closing. We'll go ahead and add the transaction here. This is where we're going to go through. If there's any groups that we want to pull out, we can pull out groups of tasks at a time in the second step. Here's where we look at all those key dates. Okay, so these are the things that might change from contract to contract. So for example, if there is no HOA, we can come in here and we can delete those tasks. This will not change the template, but it's tweaking it to match our specific transaction. Maybe this inspection deadline is actually 7 days. So we are going to modify this to fit our contract. We'll move on to our transaction parties, and this is where we can add anybody that we feel is someone that we want to, whether email, keep track of, but just ensure that all transaction parties can easily be found. We'll put Walk there, make up an email address in case we want to send them emails, give them a role. We'll just say this is the buyer, and we will add them, and then we're going to launch our transaction. So now we've taken our action plan, we've tweaked it to match the purchase contract, and we have a list of 45 different steps that we have to do so that we are communicating properly. Hey, it's time to schedule your home inspection. Also need your earnest money. And if we want to, we can even come in here and personalize this, whether it's on the template. So if I want to put in my earnest money amount, you can do that. We can fill this in with personalized information so that you can literally go from launching a transaction to shooting out specific pieces of email and text messaging that helps communicate with all parties of the transaction really easily. So there's the quick 5. You can visit our support page where you can find additional information and helpful videos and tutorials on all the other functionality. And if you do have questions, you can also come down here and click on chat support, and we're happy to help guide you to full value out of Nekst. Thank you so much and have an amazing day.